everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Njue, and I am one person who is very passionate about proposal writing. And I have a mission, and my mission is to help professionals and founders of nonprofits to attract funding. And I do this by equipping you with the skills and the knowledge that you need to write award-winning proposals, but also by providing you with the resources that you may need in your proposal writing journey. And this is geared towards helping you to achieve your objectives and to have greater impact within our community so that we may help more people. So thank you very much for joining me today. And today I am going to be talking about the top 5 mistakes that we tend to make when we are writing proposals. So, top 5 common mistakes that we tend to make when writing our proposals. The first mistake that is very common is embarking on writing without any plan and a writing framework. Starting to write without any plan. So, from my experience in proposal writing, one of the things that I have seen many people, make go wrong is starting to write without taking more time to design your projects and to think through about your project and what you really want to do. So the first step always when we think about a proposal is to ask ourselves what exactly do we want to do, and why do we want to do it. Like I said in my past videos, the question of why is very important. So my advice to you is whenever probably you see a call for proposal and you feel you want to respond to it, always remember planning is key. In fact, a lot of your time should go into planning even before you think about writing the proposal. And important things to note about the planning phase is at the end of the day, but you need to have what I call a writing, a kind of a writing framework or something that guides you. And what that basically talks about is you need to clearly articulate your problem. After you articulate your problem, and you can do this in a spreadsheet, then identify what strategies you are going to apply to respond to those problems. Once you have your strategies, then you can now think about what is the impact of your strategies. What do you anticipate to achieve by implementing these particular strategies? So once you have that clearly thought about, then you can start putting your proposal together. So planning is important. Having a design workshop actually is one thing that I really encourage organizations to do. And the planning workshop is basically coming together and planning together, identifying the key aspects of your proposal, like I've mentioned. Planning also involves identifying the key dates that you need to be aware of, and even drawing your calendar, identifying the days that you're going to be, by what time should you have submitted the first draft, who is going to be reviewing it, who is going to be writing what section of the proposal, who are the stakeholders who are going to be involved in writing this proposal. So planning, a very important step. And I have developed a planning tool that is actually available on my website, but you can see I'll leave a link on my below to where you can easily access a tool that helps you with your planning phase of your proposal writing stage. Um, Number two common mistake is expecting a consultant to figure it out for you. So my experience has been very interesting throughout my journey. I have had clients who think I am a kind of a miracle worker. I will figure out every step, every process for them. So I need you to understand that proposals belong to you as a non-profit organization. You design your project. You must have ownership. So you guide the consultant and not the other way around. So when you bring on board a consultant is coming to help you think through the process, yes, but does not own the project. So by the end of the day, you should be the one taking charge, informing the consultant that we would want to go to take this direction. So it's a discussion between your team and the consultant. They play more of a facilitative role. And actually, I'm going to be doing a video in the coming days about the role of a a proposal consultant, so that it is very clear to you how to engage them. But basically, they come on board to support your work. You are the carrier of the mission. You know better what you want to achieve. So they may come with ideas, but at the end of the day, you tell them what fits best for your organization, and then they can help you to put together those many ideas, in form of a writing. The proposal writing person may not even be necessarily a technical person. And for example, I have written proposals that are in an area that I'm not, very technically, I do not have the technical capacity per se. So I depend a lot on the team, the staff in the organization, to provide me with materials and the guidance on how to write. I write it in simple ones, but then they have to put the appropriate technical ones at times. Yes, so do not leave it to the consultant to figure out things for you. Now, the other challenge that I have seen is where we have a team of people working together to write a proposal, yes, one common proposal, but with no guiding framework. So what happens is that you end up with a proposal that is very disjointed. So you can imagine if one person is writing the problem, the other person is writing the strategies, the other person is doing the M&E framework, but there's no common guiding framework. So you end up with a very disjointed proposal with components that do not speak to one another. I have said many times, a proposal is one document. There must be a running thread, a connection between your problem and your objectives and your outcomes. It is one thing with a common running theme. It cannot be disjointed. Um, the outcomes, remember, have to come if you understand the logic model, which I have talked about, but don't worry. But basically, you must be able to show the connection between your activities, and the outputs and the outcomes, as well as the impact. I forget so much jargon, but it has to have a connection. So if you're going to have different people writing different components of a proposal, then is critical that first you sit together, develop your writing framework. And if you want to learn about how to develop a framework, you can enroll in my course where I talk a lot about how to develop a proposal writing framework to guide your writing. Yeah, so the other common a mistake I see is poor time planning. We do not plan. This is a bit connected to my second point, but I wanted to specifically talk about it because it's a component that makes many organizations not submit high quality proposals. So, and I want to share this with a scenario I had with an organization, or someone calls me and tells me they have 2 days to submit a proposal. They have just come across a call for proposal and it is due in 2 days' time, and they want me to assist to put it together. And my question is, are you really practical when you say you're going to put together a proposal, a full proposal? So anyway, the thing is, at the end of the day, you're going to submit a substandard proposal, something that is not well thought about, something that is likely to be very disconnected, not well joined, connected. The different components are not going to be speaking to one another. The budget will end up being a different budget, not speaking to the narrative proposal. So proposals take time. They take time. I actually say it's like an art. You write one component today, one section. Tomorrow you wake up, you review it, and you have different ideas, and you make it better. And so it needs time for you to keep writing and rereading, and it's just like a book. You don't just do it in a span of 1 day or 2 days. It needs time, so it's important that you have adequate time to write your proposals, and even the energy, and also it's expensive, and the resources. So it's something that needs to be planned. So I would want to really request that we do not, rush into responding to proposals just because you've seen it. If it is too late, just accept it is too late. Actually, for me, for a full proposal, I always estimate it should take you actually 3 to 4 weeks minimum, and that is not for the very huge proposals. For the standard proposal, you need at least a month or so to put together a good document, well done, well thought of, convincing proposal. Okay, the other common mistake is not taking time to review your proposals and packaging them for submission. Remember, you want to submit something that is not only convincing but it's also presentable, it's appealing to the person who is going to be reviewing it. And viewers, remember, are people like you and me. You don't want to be reading a document that is disorganized, the tables are not well aligned. It's a narrative that is, is 20 pages of narrative with no paragraph, with no breaks, with no figures in between. So there's something called, reviewing it, first reviewing it to ensure that technically sound, but also reviewing it to ensure that it is well packaged in terms of, grammar. At times, you may even have to engage an editor to, review it for you and to edit it to ensure it's well written, it's simple. Packaging also involves at times having to develop figures. Instead of having a lot of want, you can use figures. So you may want to get someone who's very good with graphics to convert some of your work into figures. You may want to put some things in tables and make it, a document that even without reading it, someone is interested, want to read and see what is in this proposal. And I have had good experiences of reviewers and donors coming back to us and telling us why a proposal we did was selected. And I remember one case where they clearly said your proposal was just interesting. And what made it very interesting for them is that we had done some illustrations, to show what we are thinking about, how the outcomes are going to be achieved. So proposals need you to take time. It is time consuming. It has to be well thought of. I hope that is clear. Yeah, and that brings me to the end of my 5 points. I think I've talked about my 5 points. And if you want to learn much more about proposal writing, I want to encourage you to enroll for my course. I have a very detailed course where you learn how to, step by step write a proposal, how to first of all make a decision that this is a good proposal for you to respond to defining your problem, your strategies, your M&E plan. Very interesting, and I look forward to you joining me. If you're interested, kindly look below. I'll leave a link where you can access a free masterclass and be able to join. Thank you very much for joining me today. Um, See you next time. Thank you.